What's up, everybody? Fire Chicken here at the Scrapyard. This is going to be an update video for everybody. Just going to give you guys some progress updates on the cage build. I'm actually going to wait like a few minutes for people to get on here. I wouldn't mind getting a like a discussion going. I really enjoy having people in here to talk to. Content for the channel. I know I've been doing a lot of this lately, and the reason for that is we took December off. So no, we didn't have any fights in December. So obviously content kind of dries up when you don't have an event. But January 23rd, biggest event we've ever had. Can't remember what the most amount of fights we ever had at an event was. Probably like 15. So this is going to be like 35 fights. We're really going to have to schedule things and be on top of stuff. But hey, we'll make it work. So content for the channel, we're not only going to do that, but we're going to do BJJ matches too. So you guys will get like double content for the channel. So I'm gonna give everybody a couple more minutes to filter in here, and we can start talking about it. I don't really like talking before, because then I guess for people that like to watch this after it's been recorded live, then they probably want me to get right into what I'm talking about. So I guess I will. So today we started at 9 a.m. Now let me back up here. So I'm going to talk about what was involved with us building this cage and how much effort, money, and time went into it. I mean, you guys are going to see the end result, but I mean, you really don't have any idea until I tell you like everything that went into it. So, hey, what's up, Isaiah? So, all right, where do I begin? The first thing is I had my ring. I guess I'll start there. Okay. I had my ring. I built my ring in my yard probably in May, when we were still scrapyard fights. We weren't even Street Beefs yet. So I've been a member of Street Beefs for 5+ years, 6 years, something like that. And, until I went over there and fought, Scarface didn't really know who I was. I mean, I would comment on stuff, and some people knew who I was, but I mean, for the most part, I was just another person in the Street Beefs group. But I really loved Street Beefs. I really did. And one of my kind of bucket list item things was I got to get over to Street Beefs and fight. And fortunately, my work sent me over to Virginia for a work trip. Hey, what's up, Carter Charles? Hold on, let me do something here. Hey, what's up, Derek? Hey, Senior Chicken's here. My pops is in the room. All right, let me get back to what I was saying. So I was over in Virginia, and I, of course, like get a hold of Scarface, and I'm like, man, I want to get out there. I want to see the scrapyard. I mean, sorry, I want to see Satan's backyard. I want to see Street Beefs. And so he's like, oh man, okay, we're gonna do sparring Saturday. And so it's like, all right, well, I'll jump in my rental car. I drove 3.5 hours through the mountains, all that. I get there, it's raining, and it's Iraqi Assassin, Scarface, Big Ben, and me. And we just do like round robin sparring. but we didn't use. I don't know if he had a. Yeah, he had his ring set up, but we weren't sparring in the ring. Um. So anyway, we did some sparring outside the ring. If you want to see that, I actually posted a video like 2 days ago of me. Ben, I don't think I put Ben's video in there. I couldn't get it. I got me and Scarface, me and Iraqi Assassin, and my interview that Scarface did with me. So he, after the interview, he told me, "Hey, we're doing fights next weekend. You want to come out and fight?" And I was like, "Yeah." So of course the weekend comes around. I jump in my rental car by myself again and drive 3.5 hours there or 3.5 hours back, and I do my first fight. You can find it on Street Beefs if you would like. Fire Chicken. It was against Deadpool. So then he tells me, "Hey, month later, there's another fight." I go to that one. Okay, anyway. So when I get back to Washington State, I'm like, that was the most badass thing that I've ever been involved with. Like, everyone was so cool. So I started kind of like building a ring in my yard, making my Facebook group. I really tried to not get in the way of Street Beefs. Like, I wanted to do this, but I didn't want to piggyback off of Street Beefs. I didn't want to build my own thing up because of Street Beefs. So I pretty much added. There's a lot of people I didn't add to the group. I didn't add people that I met in Virginia that were just like other fighters and stuff. Only people that I like hung around with a lot and that I considered like friends. Even if I met them in Virginia, if they were like a friend, I considered them. I would add them, but for just regular fighters, I didn't add them into the group because I didn't want it to look like I was just taking members out of Street Beefs. So I built a ring in my yard, a boxing ring out of really thin poles, like from a Costco tent. And I got some bungee and some pipe insulation wrap. And I made my bungee ring. And if you watch all of our fights, you can see the ring. Was it perfect? No, but it worked. I mean, it worked good for boxing, but it really sucked with MMA. I mean, ask Gumby, who kept going outside the ring and everything. So anyway, we used that boxing ring for all of our events. So June or no, July through November. Yeah, through November. And then we came to the decision that we wanted to build a cage. And I'd seen people doing GoFundMe's and stuff for their cage builds and stuff, but I don't know. I never got around to doing a GoFundMe for it. So I started kind of allocating funds, like using my own money. My sponsors bought different things for the cage build. Peixoto bought all of our cage panels. Um, Beamer representative took me and picked up all of the AstroTurf for the floor of the ring. Basically, it was a collaboration of a lot of different people. Like even in these chats, when you guys like super chat me, I mean that stuff, it just goes towards the scrapyard, into the scrapyard fund. So when we go to buy a belt or something, it's like, oh hey, you know what? We actually have the funds to buy a belt, and then boom, we get a belt. Which, by the way, we have our second belt on the way, people. That's our MMA belt for the Isaiah and Gumby fight. Sorry, I'll get to your guys' questions. Feel free to put them down, but I'll get to your questions after the update and everything. So anyway, we're gonna do a hexagon. I don't know why I decided on a hexagon, but nobody else had one. I know Virginia has their octagon, and Cali, they got like a square cage. So I was like, well, let's do a hexagon, 6 sides. And so Peixoto, Len, he got the panels, and we were going to do 10-foot panels, and I think we were looking at like 17 feet from one end to the other. I think that was about what we were going to do. Len made a boo-boo and bought 12-foot panels, but you know what? I thought about it for like a minute, and I was like, that's better. That's better. Now, our hexagon is 20 foot and a little change from one side to the other. So when you get in there, it's going to be more like the Virginia OG Street Beefs cage, where you have that much space. Boxing, you got that much space. MMA, you got that much space. So the first thing that we did was we went out and I think so Len bought the cage panels, brought them over. We did like a little cage building party where we like wrapped the cage panels and stuff and kind of got those ready. And then Tony, our Beamer representative, he took me out. So I used some of the scrapyard donations. So those were pretty spendy, that turf. I used those donations for that. And that bought us 2 rolls of AstroTurf from Portland, Oregon College Stadium. Used stuff, but these rolls are so heavy. This is such heavy duty stuff. Like, we had to get his dump trailer, and we had to get his dump trailer and load those things on there. And they're 1,700 pounds each. So we had to load 2 of them on there. They were so ridiculously heavy that the only way we could move those things around was if we hooked his winch up to the end of it and then hooked it to a pulley on a tree and pulled it. We could not move those. I mean, we had so many people trying to move those things today, and we could not move them. We had some big people too, and they're just insanely heavy. So I'll get to you in a second, Rufus. By the way, Rufus donated for one of our belts, so thanks again for that. So anyway, we got the turf and we got that. So today I had to go buy concrete. I had to go buy Peixoto brought in some 8-foot poles, metal poles. So we put those metal poles where we got metal poles. Then we had to get gravel. So we used gravel because the ground the other day it got so muddy. So I had Short Round and Moses come out and Tony, and we all rolled out the mats and moved them around with the winch, and it was raining just off the hook. Like, it was so bad. But we got them kind of in a position where like they would be ready for today. We got a chance to roll them out and look at them, and we decided like we need some sort of a foundation under the cage, because even though the water was excessively high that day, like we hadn't seen it that bad before, we still need it. So we picked up about $300 worth of gravel, 3/4 minus, and Tony came out again, and we ran back and forth getting loads of gravel and dumping them and then raking them. And then so we got it kind of raked out, and then it hit dark. And then so that's where it put us at until today. So today everybody showed up most people showed up around 9 o'clock. First thing we did was we started raking, getting it as flat as possible. Once we had it flat, we took the cage and we set it back up, and we got it completely aligned where we wanted it. Like, you have to get the angle right on each corner, and you have to make sure it's the same from edge to end everywhere. So we did that. Once we had that, we took some spray painted on the ground where all the panels go. So we took the panels away again. They were actually super fast to take that thing down. So then we took a gas powered hole digger and we dug down. We dug. Oh geez, we dug probably. We put those poles deep. We put those poles really deep. I had to go with Ben today, and while they were painting the plywood panels, we ran and got some concrete to dump in the holes. So we got all the poles put up, and we got them concreted in. And we had a lot of stuff to do while those were kind of settling. And once those were up, we put the cage back up too, and kind of locked it together. So hey, what's up, Pono? So we got it everything where we wanted it, right? Um, but we still didn't have the turf down. We kind of waited for the poles to harden up, and Buddy V was just going to town. We gave him some pre-workout, and he was just insane. He painted all those panels, weatherproofed them. So then once those hardened up, we took all the cage panels off again. We put them off to the side, and put them off to the side. And now was the time where we had to roll the turf out. And everybody here will tell you how difficult this was, not just to roll it, but I mean, just like if you had to move it just a couple inches over, I mean, you couldn't grip it. You're like everybody was trying to grip it, but the weight of the roll was so bad that you couldn't hold on to it good enough to be able to get any leverage behind it. So, I mean, we ended up like moving it with the winch a lot, but we got everything down. I turf staked it down. I still got to put more stakes in it. And then we brought the cage panels over. Boom, dropped the cage panels on it. Locked them in. And then Len Pisciotto put up some motion detector lights all the way around it. Not that we plan. I see what you're saying. I don't know if our cameras will pick up low light good enough to have a night event, but it definitely worked for sparring. I mean, I sparred with Buddy V and Gash in the ring, which is funny because they're both fighting each other on the 23rd, but I didn't let them spar each other. So what do I got left to do on the cage? So the cage is down. It's secure. I might put a couple more posts, drive them in at the center points of all the cage panels, just in case somebody hits that thing really hard. I don't think the cage could do anything if it got hit really hard, but I don't know. More support's better. Okay, so I got to do that, and I've got to go around the cage, and I got to cut with a razor knife, which this is really hard to do. That stuff is so thick that you have to just sit there and like razor, and then finally you can pull it to where you can razor it more. This stuff's heavy duty. Okay, this turf. So I got to do that all the way around, and then once that's done, or before it's done, it doesn't matter. I got to take the plywood, and I got to start putting the plywood on the inside. And I've got hardware that Ben purchased for us to use. So we're going to go, plywood's going to be on the inside. We painted it black, flat black. That's going to be our wall of fame and everything, just like typical, like they do in street beefs in Virginia. So we're going to, yeah, we could use some kind of a knife. Maybe I'll try that, Derek. And we got to put the panels, the inside panels up. So we'll have our lights, our panels, all that stuff. Here's something that I forgot that I just remembered. Len from Pisciotto, he purchased, or he actually got them. I think they were giving them away free. We got some church pews. So we're going to take these church pews and we're going to put them kind of outside around the ring. And that's going to be kind of our seating area. I don't know, maybe we could go like up against the cage so people could walk in there and stand up and look over the cage. I don't know. We're still planning stuff, so but it's cool. We got like 4 long church pews. They're like legit church pews, like you could put a Bible behind you. So we're gonna paint those things and weatherproof them. What do we need for the 23rd? I don't know. I don't know what else we need. I mean, as far as the cage goes, pretty good for now. I'm sure there's always stuff that we can improve on. Pete got a hold of me, the camera guy. I mean, he's pretty much saying, so it's going to be really tough to film 35 fights, but we're going to try to make it work. We're going to do the best we can. How about that? We're going to do the best we can with what we got. And I'm hoping some of the fights go by quick. So, yeah, maybe we'll offer some kind of incentive for finishing your fight quick. Quickest finish of the day gets something. I don't know what, but we no money. We don't award money, just so that's clear. But we could do something in the form of like a T-shirt or some kind of an award. Like getting a trophy. Something you earn. So, like the UFC gives out, fastest win bonuses and stuff, and they do it in the form of money, which we don't. We do it in the form of something else. So that will give you guys incentive to get out there and finish your fights, like get it done quick. The AstroTurf feels amazing. Like I haven't tried it with no shoes on, but one thing, no cleats will be allowed on it. I know it's AstroTurf. You would think like, oh, hey, why can't I wear cleats on AstroTurf? Because when you're doing like football and stuff, and you're running, you're going to do a lot of pivoting with your feet in fighting. And the reason why people use cleats in like street beefs is because the ground isn't always the most secure. The ground's secure here. You're not going to have to worry about slipping. We were playing around with it in the pouring down rain, and it's not slippery. Possibly rug burn, but I don't know about that yet. So that could be something. Maybe wear a rash guard. I don't know. Maybe it's not going to be like rolling on carpet, I'll tell you that. But it ain't going to be as good as mats. But you can't use mats in the rain. So we're going to be filming the BJJ matches at the same time as the fights. So you can go over and get your match done. I'm probably gonna start us early, like 9 o'clock ish, and we're gonna have some fighters. So if you're still on your Derek, I wanna help you guys out. I want to help you out for traveling this time, Derek. We'll talk about that later, but I know you're let's wrestle coach. So see what else. We got about 35 matches lined up for the 23rd. I don't know what weather will be like, but at least the ring inside it. You want to fight first? Okay. At least the ring will not be soggy. I also might have some of the, like Isaiah, I might have your match like somewhere in the middle. There is no, like, got to remember, people, these go online, so it doesn't matter when your fight is. In fact, you don't want your fight to be the last fight, because then you're like possibly in the dark, and you don't want your fight in the dark. So we're going to stagger the fights. We're going to try to get people in and out. I'm really encouraging everybody, please carpool. Like, if you're coming from the same town, get in a car with somebody and drive out with them, because parking is a situation. Okay, that's one of our biggest situations. I don't want to piss off my neighbors. It's not cool to do. They live out here just like I do, and I don't want to make anything inconvenient for them. We've made things inconvenient for them in the past, which is why it's not why all the way, but um, no, Isaiah, we're not going to do that. But we are going to have masks on, and we are going to be distancing a little bit, and that kind of stuff, and COVID check-in station. We went a little crazy last time, but those were the rules, and um, I go to like the park and stuff like 2 days later, and there's 50 kids running around with no masks on. It's like, oh, that's how serious we're taking this. Okay. So hold on, I got a message. Damn. Okay. So our sponsor, P Shoto, just purchased a digital round clock with buzzer to be able to program in how long the rounds are. So that's gonna take the need for a stopwatch person away. That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, no, we're not. So Stephanie, here's the deal with this. Here's the situation. Okay, it's not that I don't want spectators. I would like everybody to enjoy what we do. The problem is parking, neighbors, too many people. I know people want to see it live, but the best thing to do, if you know somebody that's fighting and they don't have a corner, I shouldn't tell people this, but whatever. What you can do is like, hey, I'll be their plus one. I'll be their corner. They don't actually have to have you as the corner. Like you can say, hey, I want my girlfriend to come, but I'm not bringing a corner. Well, okay, that's your plus one. Okay, you can find a corner or somebody to wrap your hands or whatever at the event. You know, you don't necessarily have to. Hey, Nick, you got to get at me at the event. I can't hold them for people. I do have some. I got a couple extra larges, but come up to me and be like, "Hey, I need 2 extra larges," and then hand me $40, and I'll run to my house and I'll grab them. That's how it's got to be. I tried doing the saving stuff before, and then people not coming and getting them, and all the shirts are going to sell out at the event. I've got one small, one medium, maybe two mediums, some larges, some extra larges, and that's it. I don't have any double X's, triple X's, quadruple X's, or extra smalls. None of that. So I got some extra large, I got some larges, I got some mediums. The next order I order, if these all sell out at this event, I'll order another batch of them for the next event, but bigger. So here's my plan, and I really appreciate we've kept our number the same roughly the whole time. So people, I think, are coming and going, but here's the plan from now on. Okay, I can only have people have one corner, and that's going to be the norm from now on because of the large amount of fights. There's always going to be a couple people that come out that are spectators, but the thing about some of the spectators that come out is how many extra larges exactly? Dude, can you message me tomorrow, Pono, and I can get that number for you. I just don't want to break away from here, run downstairs, and then come back and have like one person left watching. Trying to keep you guys entertained. I got a few of them though, so and let me make something clear too. I would love to give shirts out regularly. I would love to, but every single shirt that I get, I have to pay for. It comes out of my pocket. So, and I every once in a while I do throw a shirt into the mix and give it to you guys. I gave one away. It was at the event before last. I raffled it off. But Yeah, you know, the shirts weren't meant for me to make money. They were meant to give you guys something to wear to represent something that you fought in or that you like. So, you know, especially if you fought in the scrapyard, you know, people might ask you, like, what's that shirt mean? It's like, that's this thing I fought in, you know, kind of cool to say. And also, if you guys want a shirt, get a hold of Martin Rubio. Martin Rubio in our group, the Street Beef Scrapyard Facebook group, or the main group, or you can just Google him or YouTube. God, I can't talk. Facebook, look him up. But he's the one that does all our merch. So if you can message him and say, hey, man, I need a shirt, but he's going to charge you a little bit more to ship it. So keep that in mind. That's if you like guaranteed want to have a bigger shirt by the event. So, but how we're going to do it from now on, I was getting to that. We're probably going to limit the fights from now on, people. We're not going to, I know people are going to want us to have like 40, 50 fights. It's not feasible. For one, we're more north than any of the other branches. So we run out of daylight way faster than they do. Another thing is we have the worst weather out of all the other branches. Cali's always sunny. You know, Virginia, they got their crazy stuff, but for the most part, they're pretty warm. So I'll get to that in a second. So the way I was thinking of limiting the fights is if you're a new, and this is after this event, obviously, if you're a new fighter that wants to fight, you're probably going to end up fighting somebody that's fought before. Okay. So if you're Glass Joe, I'll use a Punch Out reference. If you're Glass Joe and you signed up to fight, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll let this guy come out. Then Glass Joe, you're probably gonna fight like Buddy V or somebody. You're probably not gonna fight another new name. I'm not dead set on this, but I don't know. I think it's better for people like scrolling through YouTube and they're like, oh, hey, I know Buddy V. I'm like, oh, he's fighting somebody new. Okay. And then you watch the fight and it's like, oh man, I liked Glass Joe. He had a lot of charisma. And so then like next time Glass Joe comes up to fight, because now he's had his fight in the yard, so now he's already established. He can fight a newcomer next time. But it's just an idea. It's nothing set in concrete. But I do want to limit the fights. We're not going to have 35 fights again. Probably we're going to see how it goes. But to be honest, this is an overload for us, for parking, for all of that. So, but we'll probably do like 25 fights. You know, maybe something like that. Still be a lot of fights. We could always do BJJ matches too. Maybe when if we can get the ref to come up or something on like an off day, we can get a few people together and have like a mini event. So we'll say like, hey, we're gonna have 3 fights today. Okay, come on out. We kind of did this with Isaiah. You know, he did a beef fight with Brandon, and they just came out. We refed it, and yeah, don't fear the cold. Oh man, I fought in Virginia and it was like 35 degrees out. I fought in my jeans. So, um, that's the basic plan for everything, you know. We're going to have 2 camera angles this time, but they're both going to be the really good footage. So we're going to have one on the outside filming in and then one on the inside. And there's a lot of room for a camera person in there, so a lot more than our ring was. If you look like you're messed up on drugs, because no drugs is a rule of ours, you might be asked to take a field sobriety test. So I'm just saying, you know, we had a fight removed from Street Beefs in the last month or so. It was taken off of line because of somebody that was looking like they were intoxicated. The person told me they weren't, Maybe they weren't, but I mean, if you can't pass the field sobriety test, then you don't get a fight. And I'm doing that for fighters' safety. You know, I can't have people getting in the ring that could potentially get hurt because they're messed up like that. So, I haven't put in stone like how often people have to defend titles, Isaiah. Like if you want to defend your title, you can say, "Hey, I want to fight next event." Maybe you want to do a kickboxing match though, and you don't want to put your title up, you know. Um, but I'm thinking like and this isn't set in stone. I could change it a later date, but I'm thinking like, um, maybe like every 3 events, you would have to defend your title. Um, I don't want to strip people of titles. I don't, but we're gonna have our weight classes set up and everything, and drugs is bad, people. Okay, forgot the okay. I'm really sorry. I haven't been reading the comments at all. I'm gonna go up here and let's see. Um, I'm just seeing if there's anything I missed. I'm hoping to come see y'all when Face shows up. Um, so the thing about that is when Face shows up, the people that are going to get to be here are the people that have been involved with us from the beginning, and the fighters, of course. But I'm not going to let extra people come out just to meet Face because that's just like using the scrapyard to meet Face. Um, I'm not I'm not trying to put you down. I'm just saying like I can't be having a bunch of spectators come out just to meet Face. So it's going to be kind of a privilege of the fighters and the people that have really stuck by us since the beginning. So, um, no, we're going to stay where we're at. I think we're just going to keep growing in popularity and more people are going to watch us. But, um, oh, sponsors. Our Beamer sponsor actually, he was at our first event and he gave me a business card. And I didn't even think about like sponsors or whatever. And then afterwards, I called him up and we worked something out, um, and then after that, Len, from Pishoto, he got a hold of me because uh, his brother is actually a moderator in our group, and he's been in our group moderating since the beginning. And so he's like, "Hey, I want you to meet my brother." I met him, and he's just like really enthusiastic about wanting to make our make our branch better. So we started working stuff out, and that's how we came up with that. Let's see here. We have already thought about putting our logo in the um, in the center of it. Buddy V. We talked to a few people at the cage building thing today, and I think that we are going to do something like that. We'll do a stencil or something. Um, yep, logo in the center. Walk down over on Monday. Just like bonuses. Let's wrestle, coach. I'll do grappling matches on the 23rd. Hey, if anybody's around 190 that wants to grapple an older guy, we had somebody show up out here today. Let me know. I want to fight first. 35 what? Chicken. We need a rev. Carpooling. Nice. Let's see. I read most of this stuff. Nah, you guys aren't going to wait in the cars this time. Just make sure everybody brings masks. Don't fear the cold. Do sponsors pay you or just help out with gear? These are kind of questions that you shouldn't really ask because it's kind of like in the inner working stuff, but not the sponsors take care of things that we need for the scrapyard, whether it's labor, financial stuff. So I've never had anybody like hand me money for any of this. It's always been like none of the sponsors, they don't just hand me. I've got a scrapyard fund for donations, but the sponsors they like purchase stuff for us and all that. Like Beamer, they did a GoPro for us when we first started, and but the stuff that he's doing is just like he's got equipment and he's doing so much labor. And it's like, dude, that's I mean, that's just killer. That's a ton of work. And Len is taking care of a lot of things that we need. You know, like I just said, he got us that stopper or the clock, and I just mentioned it to him today. I wasn't really wanting him to buy it, but hold on, I got a message here. Hold on. All right. Sorry, I had to respond to somebody. Yes, it's scrapyard fight related. We've been getting a ton of people joining the group too. According to Mitch, here we go. Oh, that's good. You might need it. But the grappling, well, you're doing an MMA match, so. Anybody got any good questions? I made a video the other day it goes over every single match. But I think I added a couple more. Our group, anyway. How long do I plan on doing street beefs? As long as possible. As long as we can keep it. As long as we keep it. As long as we get more efficient at it and just keep it like, good. Oh, Castro, my boy. How would you like to volunteer to box me in one 5-minute round, but we both have to eat a 1-chip challenge chip first? Okay, here's how it goes. You can drink milk, whatever, first. You gotta take the chip, eat the chip, chew it up, and then put your mouthpiece in. And then ding, 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 the round goes. And me and you box a 5-minute round. It doesn't gotta be like 100%. You try to like knock each other out, but the whole point is the pain of the chip is gonna make it tough. No, you can. It's not cheating to drink before. The reason I say drink milk before, because it can help your stomach. I mean, the stomach thing isn't something that the pain is in your mouth. So, hell yeah. We're not going to do it at the event. We'll just have to have you come out and do it like on a Saturday or something. But I'm totally game for that. I'll torture myself. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you've probably seen some of my stupid videos I've made lately, like the bomb hot sauce. This it's really hot sauce, right? And I took a chip. It's like one of those Fritos bowls, and I filled it. I filled it up, and I ate that thing. It was way worse than the one chip challenge. Way worse. Nah, Mitch, you'd win that. All right. So that's something fun. And then I got the salsa for Christmas. It's Death by Salsa, and it's like 3 million Scoville units. And I ate a bunch of that. That was bad too. I don't think it was as bad as the one chip or the bowl. The bowl. That was really bad. Ooh. I go to Leavenworth like once a year, bro. I might have to check that out. I mean, sometimes I like instantly regret doing it, but I mean, there's a couple reasons why I'm fire chicken. I drive a Firebird. I like hot stuff, and I got chickens. So there's 3 reasons. All right, guys. I think this has been a pretty good Q&A session. Make sure you check out the Facebook group tomorrow. I'll be posting videos and complete instant regret. That's a metaphor for your life. Whoa. Oh, geez. I'm glad I'm not allergic to that stuff. Anyway, I'll be posting video tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a live in the cage of the finished product. You guys can see it. So, hey, good night, Derek. Peace out, brother. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. It actually turned out pretty good. You guys were like really back and forth with me, and that helps make these things kind of go on longer. So I think I got some good information out to you. I explained the cage and all that stuff. So if you got in here late and you want to, this will probably get posted probably by tomorrow morning. I think it takes a while to load up, but you guys can come back and rewatch it if you missed where we are on the cage. But I'm really looking forward to the 23rd. I'm nervous, anxious, all that stuff, just because of the amount of people. So, but I'm excited too. So I can't wait. So with that, I appreciate every one of your support, and peace out, everybody.